It is Bronze and Modern Gods. I am John.
I'm Richard.
And it is bonus episode time. Every Friday, we look at your viewer mail. We answer some questions. We read some comments. We have a conversation with you. If you like these videos, please hit like. Please help us out by subscribing and hitting the notification bell. All those things help us reach more people just like you. And if you aren't following us on Facebook and Instagram at Bronze and Modern Gods, please do so. We also have Ali joining us from Elite_Comics 11 a little later with the Instagram Market Watch. But let's get right into it. Richard, what do you say? Viewer mail.
You've got
Viewer
mail.
mail.
You go.
My first piece of mail is from Henneken Jones.
Heineken Jones. Is that
Uh,
like
I almost read it that way.
Budweiser Smith? Awesome.
And this is in regards to our interview with Chuck for our last show. Thanks for this. Great story, interesting guy. I visited once talking about Mile High Comics, and the only thing more staggering than the size of the store was the pricing. To say Mile High's pricings are high is quite an understatement. Like Raw's price going at growing slabs 9.8 prices. They are also very loose in their use of the term near mint, using a near mint unless near mint allows for 15 spine ticks and nobody told me. That said, he's right. Buy it or don't. Shop at his prices, and he's his prices, and he clearly is a savvy businessman. Absolutely. This is a man who is providing a service. He's charging for that service enough to be able to make a profit and to continue offering that service. That means he doesn't lowball books. He doesn't worry about kowtowing to what the market may price things at. He has them priced at a point where if it solves your problem, which is you're missing a book from your collection, it's easier to buy from him, even if his prices are higher, a little higher than other places, sometimes a lot higher. But it's easier to buy from him and be done with that particular search than to spend countless hours on eBay combing through the listings. If price is your sensitivity, then by all means spend the time and be able to go search for those books through other sources. But if you are simply looking for a solution to that empty hole in your collection
In your
and you want
soul.
to and you want a one-stop shop, Chuck is your guy.
It really comes down to your collecting DNA. Some of us are scavengers. We love the hunt, the thrill of the hunt, and we love getting a deal. I found this $200 book in a dollar bin. We love stories like that. We live for it. But sometimes you get a little older, you've got more insurance, and you just don't care anymore, and you want to have the book. So, a great example of this is his newsletter this week. I was reading actually yesterday, and he lists all of the new books that are new to inventory every day. And I was just looking, and something struck me. He had a copy of Earthworm Jim #3 newsstand edition.
Wow.
Okay, when are you going to find a copy of Earthworm Jim #3, the newsstand edition from 1995? So you just kind of have to suck it up and say, all right, I've been looking for this forever. This is my
Mhm.
chance. I'm gonna do it. And as far as the grading goes, if you have a difference of opinion, stick to the slabs.
Yeah, absolutely. The slabs are a safe bet. He offers a service. For example, I was collecting my X-Men run from 94 to 300. And for some god awful reason, 111, X-Men 111, I could not find. I could not find a copy in the grade that I wanted to have in the PC. And I went for several months just frustrated looking through eBay and looking at other sources. I finally managed to find one. If I could have bought that book from Chuck, even if it was a little bit higher than I would find just scavenging it myself, I would be done. And
Yeah.
that satisfaction and that completionist bone in me would be satisfied.
Yeah. So if you want to hear more from Chuck Rosansky, make sure you tune into Monday's show for part 2 of our extensive deep dive with Chuck. I mean, we hit a lot of topics. Some of it will be controversial, some of it will be uh, uh, different. And I'll tell you, I'll guarantee you this, it will not be boring.
He's got such a storytelling ability. It's amazing.
Yes. All right. My next piece of viewer mail comes from Jason Slade on Instagram. And Jason writes, "Hey guys, love the show. It's the perfect mix of facts, fun, and witty banter." If only I could say it right. Um, as an old guy tapping on the door of 50, I am interested in consolidating my two-bedroom collection of 60s and 70s keys that I picked up in the 80s and 90s
Ooh.
and focusing on fewer higher dollar mega keys that are way more expensive. I'm not out to take any profit out of the collection to use otherwise. I'd really like to see a segment that explains a logical way to move comics that I only paid a one or $100 for each that have increased into the thousands of dollars in many cases from my PC into a sellable inventory. But I am struggling with whether I should use cover price as my cost basis. I assume you mean the website. You do not want to sell your books for cover price. Um,
I'll take the Hulkway 81
yeah,
for 25 cents, please.
I'll take them all. You know, the problem solved. Um, or if I should sell them for cash into my sellable inventory collection for a reasonable dollar amount, or if I should just claim the full $999 profit on a $1,000 book and probably pay way more than my fair share of income tax. I could easily see myself selling 20 to 30,000 in comics to buy one or two mega keys. Please help. Well, we happen to have a couple of episodes that we've done on selling your comic books. We will link to them in the description below. But so you don't have to go searching too far. I will tell you this: it's going to take some work. You have a
Mhm.
few choices here. You can gather everything up. It sounds like you have a really impressive collection. Um, Inventory it, and then approach Metropolis or a big dealer, Mile High, someone to give you an offer. Now, keep in mind they're going to probably go to a minimum 50 cents to the dollar. Uh, and so you're not going to get retail for this stuff. But if you're just looking to get it done in one swoop and get a lot of money to buy that mega key, great. Also, don't forget you can trade. You
Yes.
go ahead. You've had experience in this area.
I was waiting to say that. Trading is an excellent way of, taking 100 pennies and converting it to to $100. Pick your books, your key books, and then trade them up. Either trade them in bulk for one key book that you're looking for, or trade them several times. Start off with that. Um, that book that maybe has a $100 trade value, trade it, and then find somebody who wants 150 for it. It'll take time to work your way up, but in that way, you're talking about tax burdens. You're not incurring any revenue at that point. You are simply trading one good for another, and you can get what you're looking for. It's a longer road, but I think it's more satisfying because you get the enjoyment of owning other books through the process.
And you'll be surprised if you see a dealer. Well, I'll just use Harley Yee as an example. And he's got an X-Men #1 and he's asking 30K for it. And it's the grade you want and you're happy with that price. Approach him and say, "Hey, are you open to a trade? I have several minor keys." And you'll probably honestly end up giving 60K worth of books to get a 30K book in trade like that. But the dealer does benefit by having much more liquid inventory that he can sell through much more quickly than X-Men #1's probably a bad example. You could probably sell those all day long. But you know what I'm trying to say. So don't be afraid to find a dealer that has the book you want and then approach them for a trade. You may be surprised. All right, Richard, what's your next one?
My next piece of viewer mail is from Lee Neeren. What a great episode. I cannot wait until part two of the interview is released
Monday.
Monday. I wonder how many comic shops have come and gone and at the time that Mile High has been around. That's a good
Ah,
question. The market has incredibly shifted over the years from no direct sales from when he started to, now we had a huge boom in independent comic shops, and now we're down to more specialty shops. We'd have what was the last count, do you think, John, of specialty comic shops nowadays?
at one point, from what I read, and I'm not sure the accuracy, they were going by diamond accounts, and so your mileage may vary on the accuracy there. At one point, it was down to under 1,000, which was scary, but I think it's gone back up. And when you talk about people who have come and gone, just look at the ads that used to be in the comics alongside Mile High. You had the American Comic Book Company, you had Robert Bell, you had all these people that are long gone. I mean, we're talking tumbleweed since the 90s. And, say what you want, Chuck's still here.
Yep, Chuck is still here. He's still selling books. He's selling them his way, and it's a testament to his business skills and his ability to understand the market.
Yeah. My next piece of viewer mail is from Scott Gustafson. Sorry, Scott. I mangled that, but I think I got it right at the end. About my underrated book pick last week. Fool Killer is an interesting one because he would fit into the Deadpool world well, or even Hit Monkey. Yeah, actually. I mean, who would have thought we would get Vigilante on the Peacemaker show? That's true. Who would have thought we would have gotten Judo Master on the Peacemaker show? Forget Vigilante.
Oh,
Freaking Judo.
you're
Oh,
spoiling it for
am I
me.
spoiling? Sorry, everybody. Yeah,
I've only
well,
watched the first episode so far.
yeah, let's just say there's a Charlton family reunion coming up. But
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Fool Killer, I see Fool Killer almost like Marvel's an MCU Fool Killer, almost like Marvel's Joker,
Oh, okay.
where it's a darker take on an existing character and it's kind of outside continuity. That's how I would do it if I was running Marvel, which, maybe next week. What's your next piece?
My next piece is from Mark Warren. We're talking about CGC. As far as CGC goes, I feel like, or am I just hoping? There will come a time when the accumulated weight of all the gift grades they give out will cause the whole enterprise to collapse. I've seen too many. There's no damn way that's a 9.8 CGC books over the years. Yes, I've seen those too. Also, speaking of slabs and OCD, I feel like people are displaying the slabs just as much or more than the actual comics inside, and a time will come, or am I just hoping it will, when collecting slabs will go the way of collecting Beanie Babies. Free your comics from their prisons.
Hmm.
Wow. I don't. The things that slabs offer is it allows comic books, which are collectibles, to be traded um, at a quantifiable level, meaning you assign rankings to them, and you can trade. Two strangers can trade books, understanding a agreed upon value for those books. So the fact that slabs would go away at any point, as long as people are buying and selling comics who are not just pure comic book people, slabs will be around because it's a way, again, of quantifying the value of a book. I CGC has had some variance in their grading standards. It seems where you get books that are 9.8s. I've got a 9.6, and John knows the one I'm talking about that has a notch in it, pretty much, and I don't ever dare to send it back to be reslabbed because I don't know if it will retain the grade that it has. So there's things like that, and these things are graded by human beings. Human beings have flaws, and sometimes those flaws will affect their ability to grade. So I don't think we'll ever see CGC go away. I mean, people just invested $500 million into the company.
Yes.
Um, I think that's a good indication that they see a long term investment in comic books in general.
Are they perfect? Absolutely not. I've gotten books with the wrong labels, wrong custom labels. My Wolverine with a Hulk label and my Hulk with a Wolverine label, and you got your peanut butter and my chocolate, and your chocolate with my peanut butter. And lots of just really dunderheaded PR blunders.
Mhm.
The latest being the bad idea Invisible Comic, which finally CGC has responded to and said, here's their stance on it. We asked Bad Idea not to sell those. Great. They're all already sold, according to Bad Idea's founder on Twitter. So they it's a way of taking a stand without any consequence and without actually taking a stand. Why did you allow that to happen in the first place, CGC?
Mhm.
What did you get out of it, CGC? Nothing. except embarrassment and a tarnished reputation. So, Mark, we kind of feel you, but sometimes it's like Bruce Hornsby said, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I hate Bruce Hornsby.
I don't know why you brought him up.
I know. Well, that's a great segue into my last piece of viewer mail, which is from Studrato, who
Ooh.
writes, the thing is, just a couple episodes, y'all told us how you didn't spec on America Chavez because you didn't think she was a good character. And now you're saying not to spec on these new modern books. This is definitely the old dude comic book podcast. And to that, Studrato, I say, yes. Yes, it is. This is definitely the old dude comic book
Yes,
podcast.
it is the old Duke. But I did we say
Oh, yeah.
not to
Yeah.
spec on?
Oh, I'm not done yet. Hold
Oh,
on. Sit
okay.
down, Studrato. Please wait. I'm not done with you yet, bud. We never said we didn't spec on America Chavez because we didn't think she was a good character. We said we didn't know about it. Yeah, it was buried in a book called Vengeance. There was a mini series, and nobody said, "Oh, I will sit everybody down and make you tell me the truth. Look in my eyes. You saw the first issue of America and said, that's going to be a big character someday. I'm going to buy 50 copies. No, of course you didn't. That's why it's expensive, because there's not a lot of them out there and the demand outstrips the supply. Your second point is incorrect as well. Sorry. You're now saying not to spec on these new modern books. We never said that. We said know the difference. In fact, we said this very specifically. Listen closely. Know the difference between speculation and what's the acquisition? What's the other way? The
Investment.
investment. Thank you.
Hmm.
Speculation is I'm going to buy this. I'm going to take a chance. I don't know if this is going to pan out, but I'm comfortable losing money if it doesn't. Investment is I really want an Amazing Fantasy 15, and I know it's going to grow and grow and grow and grow, and it's a guaranteed. It's like when you're doing your 401k, and young people, since this is the Old Dude podcast, if you are not taking advantage of your company's 401k, why not?
Max it out.
My Susie Orman as well.
Hmm.
You can invest in aggressive stocks if you're younger because you have plenty of time to make that money back. But if you're older, you invest in really sturdy bonds that are dependable and always grow and they're never going to dip. Right? This has been another episode of the Old Dude podcast. And by the way, one more point. You got me fired up now. I am proud to be the Old Dude comic book podcast because there's one thing about getting old. Guess what that is? You got there. You lived. You learned. You experienced things. So, and you're still alive to tell
That's
about
right.
it.
We kicked 50's ass. All
Yes, God,
right. We're still around.
please pray to God you get to be an old dude.
No, we have it. I think we have an interesting perspective because we've seen the market change over and over and over again. So a lot of the fluctuations we're seeing now are just cyclical, and we understand that, and we can help people who have not been through those kinds of cycles understand just because the prices go down, as some of them are doing now, doesn't mean they're going to stay there. They're going to go right back up again. So just be aware. And no, yeah, like John says, we never said not to spec on America Chavez. It's just it
And,
wasn't a character I knew about when she came out. Once I saw her possibility of being in the MCU, I've been picking up books about her. I've been picking up one, here and there. I can't say I've spec deep like I spec for Miles Morales, but it's worth picking up the books, especially the variants and the ratio books when they come up at a reasonable price.
and I hope you don't think I'm upset, Stodrato, because honestly, you'll see I responded to your comment in the comments, and I did get a kick out of it. I chuckled. I took it in the spirit you meant it. So
Hmm.
please don't think you offended us and that we're not at all. We
No,
can take it because guess what? We're old dudes and
yeah,
we can take it.
yeah, we got nothing to prove. We're just
Yeah,
here having fun.
this is not the comic book podcast where you're gonna see us, screaming into the mic and getting you hyped up and rah, rah. There's plenty of them. There's lots of those. We don't need another one. We're your old auntie in the kitchen. Maybe not auntie. All right. Speaking of, well, no, that's going to be a bad segue because Ali is much younger than we are. So
Yeah.
it's time to check in with the young generation. Yeah, we do
Uh,
sound old now. It is time once again for the Instagram Market Watch. And here he is now. Everybody, welcome from Elite underscore Comics 11. Ali, how's it going, Ali?
Hey guys, how's it going?
hey, Ali.
Going well. You are doing some new things on the Elite underscore Comics 11 Instagram account, are you not?
Yeah, lots of new things. So we're at Elite underscore Comics 11. We're now offering some sales posts from certain sellers that are accepting crypto. So that's an option. And then it's actually Elite Week right now. So we help people sell their books. So if somebody has some books to sell and they want to reach out to us this week, there'll still be a few more days left after this is posted. Reach out to us. We'll give you a low rate, help you sell your books.
And it happened last night, but you're starting to feature some artists coming on and talking about their art. And
Yeah, so we have a new series called Elite Spotlight, and we're going to use this series to just spotlight different things, artists, different topics. So it's going to change a lot, but to start things out, yeah, we are actually doing a spotlight on a graphic novel series called Jekyll Island Chronicles. And we sat down and we talked about everything that kind of went into creating that graphic novel series, and people got to ask them questions. So it was really kind of an unplugged session with creators.
so you're going to do more of those, I assume. Assume it went well.
Yeah, no, it went very well. And yeah, we're going to mix it up. We're going to, have kind of the interview, kind of unplug sessions, and then we're going to have spotlights on different topics for the community and stuff like that. So.
All right, let's get to what the people want.
All right.
This week. What do you got? What's the first one?
All right, so I wanted to highlight a few of the bigger sales recently that happened on Elite Comics 11. So number one, Strange Tales, issue 110, the first Doctor Strange, in a CGC 6.5 with white pages, sold via Elite Comics 11 for $10,000.
Right on target. GPA last sale was $10,505. So a little discount if you bought from Elite underscore Comics 11.
Yeah, that book is hot. I mean, 10 grand for a 6.5 is just amazing.
Don't remind me. I had a 6.5 and I sold it.
I will say though, just kind of a little market speak. There, over the holidays and beginning of the year, there is sort of like a little cooling down period traditionally. Yeah. I'm just saying this because I think at the moment there's been some pretty good deals to be had if people are ready to go, and I expect that those to look more and more like deals in the next few months. So it's kind of a good time to pick some of this up if you're after it.
The next one is a deal as well, as we'll hear.
Yeah, Journey into Mystery 83. This is the first appearance of Thor. This one was a CGC 3.0, creamed off-white pages. It sold on the page for $12,600.
And the last GPA sale was $13,000, so $400 discount.
There you go.
Always a tough book. That and Hulk #1 seemed to be really tough. Hulk #1, the print run was just so low, but Journey to Mystery 83 is right up there, along with Amazing Fantasy 15, but we all know about that one.
When's that movie dropping, the new Thor movie?
That is a good question because I want to see Hercules.
It's not that far away, but anyways, yeah, no, we've had a lot of requests is why I'm asking specifically for that. But yeah, that didn't last. It sold the same day. Wow. Okay, so the last one, here's one you don't see, whether you're a fan of signatures or not. This one's rare. So Tales of Suspense 57, the first Hawkeye in a CGC 9.4. This one was signed by Stan Lee and Larry Lieber. Sold for $19,000.
We just had a Larry Lieber discussion on Monday's show about
we did.
How underrated he is. And to see this is, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Sig books, but this one's cool. I'll admit it.
Yeah, and a 9.4, I mean, with both of those signatures, you're not going to find this every day.
And the last sale for a 9.4 non-sig, just a regular 9.4, was back in September for $16,800. So obviously a book on the rise, but with those two signatures. I mean, both brothers on there. And it's actually a really cool one. I'm going to give this one a pass. Okay.
Great.
All right. Remind everybody where they can find you, Ali.
Yeah, we're at elite_comics11 on Instagram. You got something to sell, head over, give us a DM. We're happy to help.
Awesome. And we will talk to you next time. And you can always catch Ali on the Instagram Market Watch, hopefully every Friday, bonus episode time. Check them out and follow them if you are not. Richard, that's going to wrap it up for today.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing real quick. Was reading the news today, and they were talking about a school system in Tennessee banning a book called Mouse.
The Art Spiegelman graphic
yes.
novel, legendary.
It is legendary. If you have not had an opportunity, I will say openly that this is, to me, the proof that comic books can do more than entertain. They can provide an experience that you can't get any other way. Mouse is a 2-issue graphic novel, because it started off as comic strips and they combined them to the graphic novels, about a man's parents and their struggles in Poland during the Second World War as Jews in the concentration camp. It is a hugely important book, in my opinion, to introduce people to the day-to-day life of people in that situation. And they banned the book because they didn't want their 8th grade students to be exposed to the foul language and nudity in the book as their reason, which to me, you're okay with all the other things that went on in the book, but it's those that you pull out. I think we, as a generation, are shielding our children from too many things that prepare them for life. And I think this is something that should be definitely not celebrated, but should be at least understood, the challenges that people went through, so that we don't repeat them again. So my contribution is, I'm going to ask everyone out there who hasn't had an opportunity to read Mouse. It's spelled Maus. Excellent.
Everyone should have this graphic novel in there. You really should.
Yes, I have mine upstairs. I should have brought them down. Definitely, it's just such. It's not a fun story in any means, but it's such. It's, again, you can't get the experience any other way. I think. Read it, internalize it, and understand its importance. Don't ban books. If you think a book has issues, then provide a counterpoint and let people use it as source material. I just do not support the banning of this book, or pretty much any book, to be honest with you. Information should be free and easily experienced.
I learned more from this graphic novel personally about the Holocaust and the effect it had on human beings than I did in school.
Absolutely.
The only thing that came close was The Diary of Anne Frank, which I think I had to read when I was in junior high. This taught me more about personally how it affected human beings, because you hear about these events in history like the Holocaust, and it becomes static after a while. It's like, oh, that's awful. Yeah, 6 million people died. This really shows you in a graphic way what happened, and it's important that it shows you. And I can't agree with you more, Richard. You're going to ban this book for language and nudity when the average TikTok scrolling, in an hour is going to show you 10 times as much of that? No. Just dunderheaded moves. Dunderheaded. So that's a great way to close this out. Make sure, if you guys don't donate to the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, that you do.
Yes, that'd be awesome. Please do.
And we'll leave a link in the description, and be active locally. I mean, people are like, I don't like my politics with my comic book podcast. Well, sometimes you gotta.
Yeah.
It's like Bruce Hornsby said. It's just.
Oh, God, really? 2 Bruce Hornsby references in one show. Wow.
I don't know why Bruce Hornsby say. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this bonus episode. Make sure you check us out Monday for part 2 of our interview with Mile High Comics Chuck Rosansky, and we will catch you then.
Absolutely. Everybody stay safe.